watching The 9.
Many college kids may soon be the owner of a brand new shiny plastic credit card. So how can you make sure that they are using those credit cards responsibly? Advisor Dan Casey joins us with some tips this morning. Dan, good morning to you.
Good morning.
So when it comes to college kids and credit cards, it feels like what you hear is that's when the problem starts.
Yes. So, and I even started a little bit earlier with mine just because I wanted him to learn the credit, start building credit. So when he goes out and tries to get a car loan or whatever, he has something. And we all know how important credit scores are nowadays, right? So I wanted him to learn, how to charge things and make sure it got paid off and everything like that. So I think it's super important that they learn about credit cards and how they work and making sure that they pay off their, the credit card debt every month. I think it's just an important practice, especially when they go off to college and they're on their own.
But it seems like so often you hear these stories about a kid who is walking through the central part of campus. Yeah. Oh, just quickly sign up for this credit card right here. He's got one that day, and that's where the debt starts building. And they don't know how to pay it off. Now,
yes.
Does it happen just because they are uneducated about how the whole finances behind it works?
I think so, and that's why I thought it was important to get my kid a little bit earlier on the credit card, so I was there with him to show him and teach him, and so he would learn that, and just how bad it is if you do start not paying and creating that debt, how it affects your credit score, and then it's going to affect potentially the rest of his life. So I wanted to get him on that before.
Why is it so easy for kids to just get a credit card? Like why are there not safety measures in place that mom and dad have to give it the okay?
Yeah, that's probably a whole other segment, right? It's very predatory. The credit card companies love them getting in on it early. But yeah, so it's important, I think, to teach your kid that, and really nowadays, they don't really even need a credit card at college, right? Like when I was in college, I had to go home and get cash if I wanted to buy anything. But nowadays, like if you're all on the same bank and you all have apps and I can transfer money here and there, and so it's super simple. So they technically don't need a credit card, in my opinion anyways, but it certainly can help for emergencies.
Now, is there a card that could be, for lack of a better term, like a learner card, where there's a low limit, and once they hit it, they can't go any higher? Is this a good way to start teaching them before they rack up $10,000 worth of charges?
Yes. So yeah, those are out there, and it's always important. Maybe like be a cosigner or whatever. At least have the login so you can kind of keep up on it and check it and make sure that they're not, going crazy. Because it is. I remember college, and it's, it was difficult. You didn't have any money coming in, and
it's all going out.
That's right. That's right.
So, okay, let's talk a little bit. Let's back things up before college, because I've got younger kids.
Yes.
My youngest is starting kindergarten, and my wife and I had this conversation just last week. Should we set up bank accounts? Because finances are such a learned behavior.
Yes.
When and how do you
Totally
teach
true.
your kids how to learn this stuff?
I guess, at that age, starting with allowances, and this is what you can spend. And, I was talking about this before when it came to giving them money for school supplies, because they want to go crazy, right? And they're throwing stuff in the cart. So I would give them a set amount that they can spend, So if you want that expensive backpack, that's fine, but you're not going to get, the cool mechanical pencils.
Do you want the unicorn eraser that costs $4.99, or just the standard one that's 50 cents?
Right. So teaching them that the fundage of the parents is not unlimited.
Okay. What happens if a kid does run into a problem with a credit card? Like if it's at the point where they've got too much, they're beyond even starting. It's a problem now.
Yes.
What do you do?
I guess depending on how involved you want to get, you can maybe do a call to the credit card company with your child and work out a program. If it's getting too bad, depending on your access to funds, paying it off, restarting it, closing it down, and saying, let's revisit this when I think you're more mature.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Dan, thank you so much for joining us. A great tip for those parents and kids that are headed back to college. You can learn more by visiting bridgeriverllc.com.